President Zuma has defended the Basic Education Minister, and the Planning Minister has told international investors that they must not worry about South Africa's future when former President Mandela dies. Ambusisiwa Khadebe with the latest news update. President Jacob Zuma has defended Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga, saying she's working hard to turn around the country's ailing education system. Calls for Motshekga's axing were made following problems in the education sector, such as the failure to deliver textbooks in Limpopo, despite a court order to compel her department to do so. Teacher Union SATU was at the forefront of the calls for Motshekga's resignation when her department apparently reneged on a collective agreement reached between Labour and the government. Motshekga is also under fire from advocacy group Equal Education over norms and standards for school infrastructure. Her husband Mathole Motshekga was axed as ANC chief whip in Parliament last week. A legal expert says the Competition Commission's decision to fine firms that rig bids serves as a huge disincentive for them. The Commission says it will further investigate and prosecute 3 construction firms which have not accepted fines for bid rigging. It's named the firms as Group 5, Construction ID and Power Construction. Yesterday, the Commission said it would fine 15 construction firms a total of 1.48 billion rand to settle a multi-year investigation into the rigging of bids related to the 2010 FIFA World Cup. The firms include industry leaders Aveng Limited, Murray and Roberts, and Wilson Bailey Homes of Con. Legal expert Martin Versfeld says the culprits will think twice before engaging in such conduct.
They're looking at margins in single-digit figures, often in the region of 2 to 3%. So when a penalty is imposed in the region of 300 plus million, that is a very significant disincentive for any construction company, especially in the current economic climate, which has seen a downturn in demand for construction services.
And lastly, Planning Minister Trevor Manuel has told international investors that they need not worry about South Africa's future when former President Nelson Mandela dies. He's assured them that the senior statesman's legacy will be safeguarded. 94-year-old Mandela is in a Pretoria hospital where he's being treated for a lung infection. His condition has been described as critical. Analysts say many investors fear that the death of Mandela will embolden the ANC's radical elements, such as those who criticize him for making too many concessions to the white minority, or others who call for nationalizing the giant mining industry. Madiba is often considered the moral compass of the ruling ANC party. Meanwhile, it's quiet at the Pretoria hospital where Madiba is in a critical condition. The SABC's Freddie Sibeng is there.
The main entrance on Sila Street was still closed after 3 o'clock this morning. Reporters and technical staff camping on Sila Street sidewalks packed and departed after midnight. Vehicles belonging to media personnel were left parked near the hospital's entrance. Private security guards kept an eye on the broadcast equipment. The usually busy Park Street, where there is another entrance, was almost deserted. Patrolling police cars with flashing lights were seen at intervals. Several police officers were patrolling inside the hospital. Freddie Sibeng, SABC, Pretoria.
Catch the latest news on the hour on SABC radio stations and on NewsBreak Option 1.